Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Anime Iceberg. I'm Megan,
And I'm Meg.
and we're here for a fun little bonus episode so we could talk about Tokyo Revengers slash Windbreaker, but mostly Tokyo Revengers.
Yes, we figured since like every week that we were watching Tokyo Revengers, we had to bring it up in our podcast. We should probably do an episode about it. Um, so yeah, we're gonna do that. I don't know if we've ever said this, but like when we watch shows, we like take turns. Like I'll pick one and then Megan will pick one and so I picked Tokyo Revengers. One of my close friends recommended it to me. Dude, we should have had her on because she loves this show. But too late, we're recording.
We'll just say
Um,
thank you, Leah, for giving us this recommendation.
yes. Um, so I suggested that we watch it and we did and we loved it and then you really wanted to watch Windbreaker because you'd heard that it was good and it's similar to Tokyo Revengers, so we thought it'd be a good idea to watch both of them and then compare. Yeah, and so that's what we're gonna do. Um, so we have some things that we want to cover. First, we'll talk about, okay, if you haven't seen either of the shows, I don't know why you would be listening to this unless you were
Go watch them right now.
Yes, but they're both like Tokyo Revengers is the main character can travel back in time exactly like 12 years and his goal is he's trying to save his I guess his middle school love that was killed in at first in an accident caused by like a gang fight or whatever. And so he's trying to like become friends with the leaders of the gang and basically prevent her death. Um,
Yes, and Windbreaker doesn't have time travel, but that's okay. And it's about there's a whole cast of characters, but the main one is joining this high school that is well known for having very strong students. It's basically a fight club instead of a high school. But when he gets there, he gets the shock of his life and realizing that they are the sworn protectors of the town that the school is in. So they fight, but for a cause. And so he has to get used to the fact that he's going to have like these basically teammates that he fights alongside. And he starts to realize what true strength is. And it doesn't only lie in how much muscle you've got.
mhm. Yes. And so far, Windbreaker, there's only one season and it's like 13 episodes. Tokyo Revengers is 3 seasons, but we only watched the first two because this third season is not dubbed yet. Um, please dub it. We need to see it. Um, but anyway, let's start with our comparison of the two shows.
Yeah.
Um, so first we wanted to share who our favorites are from each of the shows. And Megan, you can go first.
All right. I can't really boil it down to just one character for either of the shows, really. But my favorites, I think I'm gonna pick a top three. I just want to give a shout out. I do love Mikey. Mikey is kind of a given, but I'm going to save my opinions on him because though I love him, I have other characters that are taking priority in my brain right now. And those are mainly Chifuyu, Mitsuya, and Yuzuha. And I'm glad that I got a girl on there because a lot of times the female characters are like fine, but not my favorites. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad Yuzuha could make it up there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what about
Yeah.
you, Meg, for Tokyo Revengers?
Yeah, for Tokyo Revengers, yes, I also cannot pick one favorite. Um, I gotta say Mikey, he's the best boy. But also the worst. Anyway, Mikey and then also Chifuyu and Mitsuya. And I do really love Hina. She's feisty and she doesn't like let Takamichi get away with anything. Also, I'm going to preface that I have no idea which way to say his name. I don't know anymore which is right.
It's
So,
it's Takamichi Hanagaki, but they call him Takamichi. I almost said
yep, I
Hanamichi.
like
Oh my
I'm like
goodness.
like I think I just Mikey's rubbed off on me. I'm just gonna call him whatever I feel like.
I like all their nicknames though, because Mikey is Manjiro Sano, but they call him Mikey. And then we got Draken, but his name is Ken Ryaguchi, so like Draken, and then they call him Kenny sometimes. And I mean, some of the guys don't have nicknames, but I feel like if you're dubbed with a more Western sounding nickname by Mikey or Draken, it's like you're in.
hmm Yeah. And then who are your favorites in Windbreaker?
Um, I really like Sakura. He's got like one of the coolest character designs, and I apologize in advance for not knowing their names, but in my defense, we haven't had as much time with the characters and they don't really say their names as much, but the one kid with the eye patch and then the kid with pink hair, those two are solid dudes too.
Honestly, I think I might like the kid on with the pink hair I'm still on the fence about, but Sakura, okay, no, I know who my favorite. Sakura,
Because
and
he
then
blushes.
the hmm?
Because Sakura, because of the blushies, I was gonna say.
I love when yeah, I love when he blushes. Is that cute? And then I also like the leader.
Oh yeah, the guy with the silver hair.
Yep. And then the kid with the eye patch. Yep.
Hmm.
Those three are probably my favorites. Um, yeah, we don't know their names.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad, but also, like I said, they haven't said their names that much.
Yeah, they don't say them that often, and also we only got them for a third of the time compared to Tokyo
Other shows,
Revengers.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's my excuse. That was like I mean like seriously I would say like halfway through the first season of Tokyo Revengers, I still was like, who's who? And then now I'm like,
Um,
oh yeah, this guy, this guy, this guy.
I
I know
think the
all of
second
them.
season really helped with that. Like there were so many times where like the characters are just together, so you get to know
Mm-hmm.
them real fast.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would say the next thing on our comparison list, besides, like the main characters, fight scenes. So the fight scenes in Tokyo Revengers definitely have higher stakes to them. So in that regard, they're better. However, Windbreaker is just a beautifully animated and colored
Mm-hmm.
show, and I would have to say the choreography for the fight scenes are so fluid and dynamic and well animated that the award might have to go to Windbreaker for this one for me personally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Just for
I
the look.
agree. I liked the fight scenes, like the way they looked better
Yeah, and
in
everyone had a
Windbreaker.
different style of
Yes, I was
fighting in
gonna say
Windbreaker.
that too. Everybody had different style. Where in Tokyo Revengers, they don't so much. I mean, I think the
It's just
person
like
who
a
has like,
boxing match for
yeah, the
Tokyo
person who has like the
Revengers.
most unique style is probably Mikey, because he has
Just
his
kicks people
kick.
upside the head.
Yeah, but yeah, mostly everybody else just punches and um, yeah, but I do still enjoy watching. I don't know if it's weird. I don't know if it's right to say enjoy watching the fights, but I do. Okay, I'm kind of a sucker for when the characters like do like a running like kick. I just love when they do that. Like, yes, it's so cool. So anytime in either of the shows
I
that any of them
think
did that.
I think Edward Elric rubbed off on you just a little bit too much.
Yeah, I would agree. But is that a bad thing?
No.
No. Um,
I think again with the design going on to like, well, let's first and foremost when we're talking about characters and designs, when we're talking about the look of them, Windbreaker has more of like on the color scheme of things has more memorable
mhm,
designs on that. But when you get to Tokyo Revengers, there is like a touch of realism to it where like the characters, they're all teenagers, they all have different heights and builds, and their hair is all different, mostly in the way they style it. And there's and I actually had to note this further down on our list that we've got here because I really love this touch, but mostly each character in Tokyo Revengers is shown to have dyed hair because a lot of them are blonde, but Japanese people aren't usually naturally blonde. So that's the touch of realism I love because I mean, again, they're Japanese. They would naturally have brown or black hair, not like the blonde and not the blue. Like Hawkeye has blue hair.
Yeah, I think Hawkeye does. And then Mitsuya has like silver hair.
Yeah,
Um,
purplish silver hair.
yeah,
And but
yeah.
like all of these characters are shown at one point to have their natural color. Like in the
hmm
future, Mitsuya's hair is black. Takamichi's hair is black. Mikey's hair looks like Captain Levi's. I really liked it when he went back
Yeah.
to his natural color.
Two for
Um,
you too.
Good for you. That black hair does wonder. I mean, he looks good blonde, but like his
Yeah.
eyes really pop when he's got black hair. So,
hmm
and I guess maybe that's the one thing is their eye colors aren't exactly accurate. I'm not saying that Japanese people can't have blue eyes, but it's just kind of like how many the characters have blue eyes is not realistic. But I take the eye color with a grain of salt.
hmm Yeah.
But
And a lot
I
of
was sorry, go ahead.
also that actually reminded me in both shows I like the when the characters are kind of I don't know, like embracing the darkness. Like they all kind of have like I don't know, I would describe them like dead eyes. Like
Yeah.
they don't have any shine to them. Like in Tokyo Revengers, like basically all of them are like that. And then I love like in the moments when like the shine comes back in like briefly.
Yep.
It's so good. And that like and they did the same thing in Windbreaker for like the one
The
character,
little boy.
the little boy, the
Sorry, he's
leader
short.
of Shish Torin. Yeah, his eyes like you saw the shine come back to them.
Yeah.
So I like that detail.
I
Um,
would say I'm not sure if I have a favorite design one over the other. I'm partial to the
mhm.
Tokyo Revengers design because we're used to it, but I'd have to check out the Windbreaker manga. But as it stands right now, I like the Tokyo Revengers manga art better than even the anime art.
Hmm. Yeah, you show me some pictures. I do really like it. Um, yeah, I don't know if I like them both. I think one of Tokyo Revengers might win a little bit over Windbreaker just because all of their hair is so amazing in Tokyo Revengers. Not that I mean in Windbreaker they all have pretty good hair, but like you just want to like
Had it. I
yeah.
think it's because they have their hair has rounded edges. It doesn't have the sharp, angular features that hair normally has, like in Windbreaker or your average anime. In Tokyo Revengers, everything is blunted. It's rounded. Their eyes are a little bit rounder. Their hair is rounded at the edges. Their noses and ears are a little rounder. It's a soft design.
Hmm. Yeah. Anyway, I like both though. And Sakura looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love his split
Yeah,
hair
the
and his different colored
heterochromia.
eyes. Yeah. Yep. Um yeah, and then as far as like main characters, I would say they're pretty I feel like they're kind of exact opposites in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like Takamichi is like I mean a crybaby and Sakura is a tsundere.
Cinder.
Like he's hardcore tsundere. Like but I don't they're both sweet though in their own ways. And I think they both care about people a lot, but Takamichi shows it a little bit more.
He shows it on the
Um,
emotional side. Sakura shows it on like more
on
you
like
know
the
like the
doing,
physical doing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep, yeah. I don't know, and their goals are very different. Takamichi's like in it to save everyone. He's such a good boy for the most part. Um, but and then Sakura, his goal, he wants to be the best. He wants to be on top. But I feel like I mean already we see his goal like I think he's gonna keep his goal, but like the reason for his goal is gonna change.
Yes.
Um so he's still also a good boy. But anyway, my beef with Takamichi. Okay. Listen, he doesn't like So if you've seen Erased, like when the guy goes back in the past, he like whenever he like finds himself like attracted to a girl or something, he's always like, "You're 29, you're 29, you're 29." Like, stop it. Takamichi does not have that. He's like,
I never actually registered that in my brain. I mean, like, I guess I did when we first started, but, like, to me, it was always sort of like he went back in his other body. Yes, he has all his memories, but I feel like a part of him also reverted to that age where his brain is kind of thinking that way. And
"Oh,
then
yes, I agree."
and then
But
he's working towards the future, so I feel like him kind of reigniting his crush in that way is sort of like him going like, "I wanna be with her in the future." That's how my
mhm.
thought process went.
Yes, but also like the moment it's like when Emma
Ugh.
is like in that moment she's like 14 and he is a 25-year-old. It not
Yeah.
maybe not in body, but
No, but
in his
yeah, that's
mind,
that part
like
really bothered me.
and then also, like, when he goes to Ken's place or Draken's place, that was horrible. But,
For for
like, that and, like,
Kenny.
he's dating Hina, like, that
Yeah,
too. Like, any moment, like, that's, like, the one thing that I don't like.
Hina puts up with a lot.
Yeah. She yeah. Ugh. But that's like my one beef with him, I think. He doesn't he sees a girl and he like loses all
Mental faculties.
yeah, but
Uh,
it's I mean, I also get it, like being like 25 and then being thrown into your 14-year-old body,
I
like
would cry. I would sit on the floor and scream and
and
cry.
like experience like I just like imagine like experiencing like all those emotions and then but your brain is, like, fully formed. Like, that would be, like there'd be, like, such a disconnect there. Like, that'd be
Again,
crazy.
screaming and crying on the ground.
Mhm. Yeah. Which is what he did in the 1st episode. He's like
I totally get that.
yeah. Yeah, but anyway, both the main characters are solid. I think they're just in, like, very different situations.
Mhm.
Um
One more comparison I wanted to make. We're I think we're past the windbreaker part now. We're fully on to Tokyo Revengers at this point. But I actually wanted to compare Tokyo Revengers to something that came way before it, which is The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton, which is an American book, and you may have been forced to read it in school and count yourself lucky if you were, because it's a classic piece of literature that I think everyone should read. But it's so interesting us watching Tokyo Revengers made me want to go back and read The Outsiders again, so I did. And just this how things are presented, it's so interesting because obviously we're over in the West and The Outsiders reflects a Western culture with gang wars and delinquents and people on the wrong side of the tracks and all that. And then you get Tokyo Revengers, which is an Eastern thing, and like how gangs operate is different and what they do as a gang is different. It's I don't know, it's just I won't say too much because if you haven't read The Outsiders, I really don't want to spoil anything. But, it's an interesting take on the 2 of them. And someday, I hope there's an Outsiders manga. Whether or not I'm the one to draw that, we will see, but
mhm. Yeah. That'd be good. I would that was, like, one thing I was interested in after watching this is the, like, how come none of these kids are getting in trouble for, like, constantly breaking the law, and, like, why do the police show up only when somebody's, like, been stabbed? So we were, like, reading a little bit or you I don't know if you even read the article, the
I
thing
didn't
that
read
you
the
sent
full
me.
article, but I also, I checked out, like, the back of one of the manga volumes had some info, like, pertaining to that, and it was talking about
Mhm.
how none of the kids would legally be allowed to ride a bike like they are. Their motorcycle
Mhm.
licenses, they wouldn't they're too young to get them, and they're too young to own motorcycle bikes, but
Yeah. Well, like one thing that interesting that I was reading is that like Japan has like the highest rate of like convictions, and but that's because they only try cases that they're like super sure that they're gonna win. And also, another thing that I read was that like with kids, a lot of the times they try to keep them out of like try to prevent them from like getting arrested, and like even if they're considered delinquents, like they try to work with I guess I don't know other programs to
Mm.
keep them on the right track and out of trouble. Uh and also okay, last little fun fact, I was reading about like the Yakuza um just a little bit, and basically it's kind of I don't know, in some ways it's kind of like Tokyo Revengers where it's like you stay out of our business and we'll stay out of yours. Like basically I think for the most part the police kind of leave the Yakuza alone and like
Mm-hmm.
they do their thing. Which I think is different than here in America. But it's just interesting. Although in Tokyo Revengers, they are breaking the law, but the rule that I like is that like they're not supposed to hurt anybody outside of their gang and like the gang world. That's kind of like a unspoken rule that they have.
Yeah, and
Uh,
also that somebody stays behind to take the rap when something really bad does happen.
That too, I like that as well. Like every time it's like, okay, I'm taking the fall for this and or
Like
whatever.
they
Um,
do have some kind of moral code, and to a certain extent, the boys are able to say like that was on me, I'm staying behind.
hmm Yeah. Um, yeah, so now we're just gonna talk about Tokyo Revengers. The first thing though that I wanted to talk about was a few weeks ago, we like talked about how Disney like all has owns the rights to Tokyo Revengers.
Appropriated some anime, yeah,
Yeah, they
for
okay.
Hulu.
That annoys me so much. I don't want to talk about that though. But basically, I think I don't know, like I don't remember exactly what I said, but I didn't mean to say that Disney is like in charge of like Tokyo Revengers now. I don't think they're like controlling how the story goes.
No, they're just
They
controlling how it
only,
gets to us
yes,
in
they're
the
only
West.
controlling how it gets to us, and I think how the dub happens
Yeah.
because the dub for season three, the season three came out last fall, I think, and it has not been dubbed, and like there's no word on, at least from last time I checked, there's like no word on when it's going to be dubbed. So like they're in charge of like the let's say the American side thing, but like the West, like how we get it. And yeah, that's all I want. That's like what I wanted to clarify. I also still want them to stay out of anime, even if they're
Yeah.
not really like involved in how this is made. But I don't like when they try to stick their hands in other things that they don't understand. Anyway, just wanted to clarify that. Now we can talk about all the other things you want to talk about. Um, One of those things is voice acting. We are watching it in dub, as we've mentioned a few times, and it is excellent. It is very good. Um, it's interesting because the main guy, the guy who plays Takamichi, I don't remember what his name is, but um, this is like his first role in like at least anime voice acting,
Yeah.
and he
I
got
think
a
his
like
name's what, AJ Beckles?
yeah, that's right. Um,
Yeah.
and like he's doing an excellent job, like for this
Yes,
being like
nailing
his
it.
first time. And also, I would just say I love so Itadori's voice actor plays Chufuyu, and I think it was like just perfect casting. Like it's
Adam
so good.
MacArthur is so good.
Yeah,
He, I don't know, he just has, he said so on panels. He's like, I always play good boys. I've got a good boy voice.
he does. Like Yeah, and
Like a
also, I don't
golden
know,
retriever personified.
it's also like if you look at compare like Itadori's style to Chifuyu's, they're actually like pretty similar. So I
That's
just
true.
like hear him and I'm like, oh, it's the a little bit darker version of Itadori. Not that
Yeah.
I'm not like a super huge Itadori fan or anything, but like I just
He's a
get
good guy.
yeah, he is. He's solid. Um, that just makes me happy. Yeah, so if you haven't checked out the dub, would definitely recommend. Um, they do a really good job. And we did meet Mikey's voice actor, Alex Lee. We didn't know that he
We
played
didn't
Mikey.
know.
We hadn't seen it yet, and I'm so sad. Um, because I would have had so much more to say to him.
But he was
But
nice. He was very
yeah, and
nice.
like now like thinking back to when we like met him and like talked with him, I
He
can
is
like
Mikey.
yeah, he is and like I can like hear his I feel like his normal speaking voice is Mikey's voice for
Yeah,
the most
I think
part.
he just
So,
kind of subdues his voice a little bit, like take it back a little, make it a little sleepier, and that's Mikey.
yeah. So, I hope that we get to meet him again so then we can
Yeah. I also want to talk to him artist to artist because he draws a little bit, and
mm,
I think he said something like, "Oh, I wanted to be a mangaka, but that didn't work out, so I'm voice acting."
mm-hmm.
And I feel like voice acting was what he was meant to do anyway, and that's like where his path led him for a reason. But like seeing his drawings, I'm like, ooh, you should do something with that. Sell some of your prints. It
Yeah, I was
really,
gonna say like
yeah,
that
Ruby's
one
voice
voice
actress.
actress. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, so some of the other things that I don't know, it's just like some of the details that I really like about the show. One of them is that like each of the kids that or most of the kids that we have met and like learned their backstories, like they all have rough backstories. Like you see why they are in have joined a gang and are considered delinquents. Like I think most of them either have no parents or just one parent and like it's just like they just have like a rough home life. And so this is like a place where they can feel like they belong and are like heard, I guess, and they feel needed.
Yeah.
Um so I like that detail because I would say the majority of people that end up in a situation that's maybe not ideal come from, their past life or their experiences explain that. And I like that the author made sure to add that detail.
Mm-hmm.
Um, also, I don't know if we've mentioned this earlier, but the author kind of based this story on his own experiences. He was part of a gang in high school. So I'm not sure like how much of what happens is like, made up. I bet the time
Yeah.
travel's real, right?
Yeah, thanks for putting that out there. Oh,
But
yeah, and
yeah.
his name is Ken something or other, right?
Oh, yes. Yes, it is. And then like Ken is like I don't know, he's like the most like solid, I would say, and most adult out of all of them. And I
Henry
like it.
Apuji.
That was the voice actor making that joke.
Sorry, it's
Oh.
Henry Aguchi.
So I think like so maybe just a little bit, it's a little bit of a self-insert. Um,
I sure hope he doesn't have Draken's backstory though. That
mm, hmm.
rough times.
Yeah, I think Draken has
Yeah, he's got it
one of the
rough.
worst backstories. Yes, and I think the biggest reason that we love the show is just like the brotherhood. It's so just it makes me very happy. Um, I don't know, I just love like it's so like seeing them like get beaten to a pulp and then like come together and be able to like smile and laugh with each other and be like, we made it through, like,
Girl,
yay.
Kay and I
Like,
heard you laughing, then I turned to watch you grin.
yeah. It's like, oh, the lyrics from that song. Yes, if you have not, there's an artist, his name is it's like Nate Wants to
Nate wants
Battle.
to battle. Yeah, yeah.
And he made an English cover of both of the in season one and season two intros. They are excellent. The lyrics are like perfect.
I've been singing White
Definitely.
Noise
Uh,
constantly the last week.
yeah, me too. So just check it out. But yeah, and also Shifuyu and Takamichi, they're like the
Takamichi, I
best.
think you could be the best friend I've ever had.
Ugh, I love it. Like you, I don't know why you just like get so attached to all these characters. Like you see them like beat each other to a pulp, and then you're like, oh, I love you still. You're so cute. You're just the best. Um, and just, I mean, just the story in general is very well put together. It involves time travel, which can, I don't know. Okay, I feel like have we talked about this? Um, both of us feel this way that if the story is about time travel, then it is fine.
Yep.
It's great. When the writer or whatever inserts time travel into the story
Baloney.
to like solve a problem or whatever, it's the worst.
See
Like,
the Flash, and you'll know
ugh,
exactly what I'm talking
yes. So bad. I just I that is a whole nother thing we don't
Yeah,
even
yeah, we'll talk
that
about
made me
that later.
so mad. Anyway, um so this story, yes, it's about time travel, but that's like the first episode that introduced it. And I think it to me it's very well done.
Yes,
Um
it has a limit.
it's like yep, it has a there's like rules to it. It's gets re like set. I don't know, I like that both him and Naoto like have their or I like that Naoto's memories like they get overwritten, but like he
Yes,
still remembers like
he remembers both timelines.
yeah, yeah, I like that detail. Um okay, though no, the one question that I did have, I think I brought up multiple times, but like what is Takamichi's past self like? When he takes over his body for like a few weeks, like does he come back and when Takamichi leaves, like is he like disoriented and like he doesn't remember anything? Or does like his memories fill in? But it
You
would I don't know,
know,
it just I feel like he would be very confused because he's he's like a very different person, his
yeah.
past self and like his
I'm guessing it's
present
sort of
self.
like a quantum leap situation where he's like in stasis almost, and then things just kind of go back to normal when
Mm-hmm.
he's, back in
I
his
think
body.
that's true, but like if he had his he would if he still has his memories, he'd be like, why did I act so different these past 3 weeks? Like I would be confused.
Maybe
Um,
future Takamichi is slowly but surely changing past Takamichi.
I feel like he is in some I think that he is in some ways. Um, but we don't really get to see that. Also, I really want to see Takamichi's home life because we haven't seen like any of
Yeah.
that. We just see we he lives in like it looks like a normal. Like he lives in a house. He's not living in an apartment like a lot of the guys, I think. Um, I don't know. Like all we've seen is like he has a bedroom and he has a lot of stuff with which Draken, well, not anymore because Draken and and Mikey destroyed everything, but he did have stuff.
Um, Something else. Oh, I had a question. Motorcycles, yes or no?
For me, they look cool, but it's a no for me. I would not ride a motorcycle.
I wouldn't ride it on the freeway, but tooling around the backwoods where I grew up, yeah.
All right. Yes. One other. We have like a bunch of questions. But maybe we should finish talking about there's two other things I wanted to mention.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, one is so the second season, the story like centered around these three siblings. Um, and it was so good.
Very
Um,
intense, but very well done. Very well done.
very well done. I think it did a really good job of like depicting it's a little it's definitely a darker topic, so like trigger warning, it's like about abuse. And but they I think they did such a good job covering it and like just portraying like the warped thinking of the abuser, like just those words, like I maybe not those exact words, but I have heard those words come out of people's mouths in like that that just like the way that they think, and you're like, what are you, it doesn't make any sense. But and then just like the way that the victims think about it, like especially like Yuzuha at the end, where she was like, I want you out of my life, but I still love you. Like there's
Yes,
just
yeah.
like that is so,
It's so real.
it is so real, and it's true. Like that is like how you feel. Like it's so weird it's just like so weird to see something like it's like totally fictional story, but just like betrayed, not betrayed, portrayed so well. Um, yeah, I think that was like, it's weird to say it's like one of my favorite parts of the season, but like it was. Like I liked that they covered that topic and they did it well.
Yes, and
I thought.
I really loved Hawkeye and Yusuha. And I also liked how they explored the relationship between like those two younger, so I think that Taiju is the oldest, right?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. So I love how they displayed those two younger siblings kind of sticking together, but then also finding like a big brother figure in Mitsuya. Like he became sort of like their big brother, and he's already got two little sisters, so he's kind of used to being the big brother figure,
Mm-hmm.
and like just Nitsia had a line where that it just really dug in its heels. It was you can't lament the past you've got or something to that effect. Like don't regret the way you grew up or your situation. Don't regret your situation. And it's a good line to keep in mind when you're facing a tough time, to be like, no matter what, I'm gonna get through this. I don't regret where I am. It's made me who I am. But Mitsuya does backtrack later. He's like, who am I to tell you that? When I tried to run away from myself and my past and who I am, and I regret that. And you're in a crummy situation. I can't tell you to just suck it up and live with it. I can't tell you to do that. But I can tell you that I'm here for you, and I will do whatever it takes to help you get to a better situation.
Mm-hmm. Ugh. Mitsuya in this in season two was
I said it
uh
before when we were watching, but if he were older, I would definitely have a anime fan crush on him.
yeah, he's he's great. Um, and then we wanted the last thing that we wanted to like discuss. We have like some fun questions. But we wanted to talk about like what our theories about Mikey. Obviously, we haven't seen season three yet, so we don't, maybe it has like a lot of it has already been revealed, but we want to talk about like our thoughts, because if you've seen through season two, you know like at the end he like really goes off the deep end. You're just like, for me, I'm like, how did it get so bad? And like what is actually triggering this? Because like at the end he's like, I was so miserable. Like my life, I don't remember what was his line exactly. Um,
My life's been a nightmare.
yeah. And it's like, yes, for sure his life has been hard, but every single one of those kids has had a hard life, and you don't see them doing the things that he does. Um,
Yeah, even Kazutora turned it around after
mhm.
people came alongside him. I
Yeah, and
think
like I
and
don't know.
Mikey loves those guys. Like that those guys are his family. So doing what he did in the future doesn't make any sense. So my theory is that somebody other than Kisaki is manipulating him and pulling the strings because Kisaki lost a little bit of his foothold and control there.
Mm-hmm.
I think somebody is in charge of Kisaki and is having him and Hanma go in and like be the little infestation
Mm-hmm.
into Tomon.
Yeah. And also, like another thing that I feel like this I don't know how much this ties in, but like why is Kisaki so intent on having Hina killed? Like it doesn't
He
make
knew
any
her when they were
sense.
kids.
Like so it would make sense if there's somebody else
Yeah.
like pulling
And
the strings.
why did he call Takamichi his hero?
Yeah. There's
This
just
is
like
gonna
a
be
lot of
epic. This is like Attack on Titan level foreshadowing here.
yeah. I think it's I hope that it pays off well. And I really I mean I feel like the whole point of the story is that everyone that Takamichi wants to save everyone. So like I feel like in the end Mikey will be saved, but I want that so bad. Like
Yeah.
'cause like I think everything if Takamichi saves Mikey, everything else will fall into place. And I think that has become very clear. So I am very excited for whenever season 3 gets dubbed, but also we are both happy to be taking a break right now because it is a lot to
Yes,
watch.
it's intense. Also, they ramped up the amount of curse words used for the Hulu version. It's TV mature and not to sound like a pansy or anything. I'm just not used to that kind of stuff and
Yeah.
I associate curse words with like really intense anger, so hearing it in media is just like, I hear this in real life and I don't like it. I don't want to hear this in the shows I like to watch for fun.
Yeah. I'm like kind of surprised that you stuck with it because of all the swearing.
I
Because
was in too deep, man.
I I don't often, but I do watch things that like where it is like that, where it's like not every other word, but lots of the words that they use are swear words and they're using them for no reason.
Yep,
Um, but I think like for Tokyo Revengers, it's like I think it fits very well with the
tough
story
guys.
and
Yeah.
like the
I I think that a couple of times that it was used, I was like, oh, please, you wasted it on that. Because it's just these boys trying to be tough and they'll drop
hmm
an F-bomb or something.
Oh
But
man, yeah.
the one time I was like, no, no, go ahead was when Hawkeye was having his speech and he was just like yelling and like just lamenting his life and he used some strong language and I'm like, get it all out, buddy. Get it all out of your system. It's okay.
hmm Yeah. But we still like it. Still love our boys.
Yeah.
Now on to the more fun stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I did not come up with an answer beforehand, but I will come up with one now. Who would be your best friend in the show?
I'm inclined to say Mitsuya because
Okay.
he's a creative. He did the graffiti art, he designed Jockin's tattoo, he sews
Mhm.
all of their uniforms. I feel like I'd just be sitting down drawing and he'd like sit down next to me and be like, "What you working on?" And we'd strike up a conversation or something.
Yeah. I can see that. I think that's a good answer. Uh okay, for me, I'm stuck. Honestly, I could see me and Draken getting along pretty well.
Yeah.
But also I think me and Hina would also be pretty good friends.
Yep. I think you, Hina, and me and Yuzaha, if we got just a girls' night, we'd maybe invite Emma too, and we'd have a
Emma's
good time.
I like Emma.
I think I think I would disagree with Emma on a lot of things, but we also
Mm-hmm.
grew up in very different situations. So I'd just be like, "Come on, girl, join the party. We'll
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
take a break from all this stuff going on with your brother and the intense gang he's part of."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Coolest gang jackets and the gang name because we've met multiple so far. Um, So
Valhalla is probably the coolest name.
dang it.
I like
That's what I
it.
was gonna say too.
Sorry.
Yes. Yes, I agree. I do like Toman though, but it
Yes. Because
doesn't
it's Tokyo
like,
Manji, like Manjiro, like Mikey's name.
yep. Yeah.
But
But Valhalla I think is probably the coolest.
yep.
Um
I'm gonna kind of go in a different direction with the coolest uniforms though, and I'm gonna say it's the Tomon bomber jackets that they have at the end of season two. Because
mhm.
their regular black jackets are fine, but when they have those white bomber jackets with the little ribbon on them, they look like the Valhalla ones, but more like understated. And I would wear that, honestly.
Mhm. Um, I would have to say I like the Toman black jackets. They're pretty
Wow.
cool. That's probably my favorite. Although the bomber jackets, yeah. Okay. I didn't realize that they were Toman. I thought they were just wearing them until you pointed out that they had the little tag
Yeah,
on
and
them.
I saw both Chifuyu and Takemichi wearing them, and then I noticed that the others were wearing them too. So it might be like they switch out for like casual or for different seasons or something
Mm-hmm.
like that.
I also like when they like go and fight that they like put on, I don't know what they are, but like
The ribbon
the
things,
ribbon
yeah.
things.
Sashes, they call them sashes.
Yeah, I really like that. I
That
don't
was such a sweet
understand.
moment for Chifu though when he gave Takemichi
Yes.
Baju's. He's like, "Please take this and wear it with pride."
Yeah, that was that was a good um that was a really awesome scene. It's very
Yeah.
sweet. All right, and then our last question. Um, who has the best hair?
My goodness.
Right?
I like them all. Just gonna say that up front. I like a lot of their natural looks, like when they lose the hair dye and
Mm-hmm.
the like, you know, the gel and stuff. Um, I'm gonna have to go with Chifuyu in any style. Close second would be Mikey with the Levi haircut, though.
Mm,
And then let's give an honorable mention to Akun because he wants to
yeah,
be a hairstylist.
he's got good hair. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of like about the order that I would do. I think I would switch Mikey and Chifu though. They're
Okay.
so close just because I like his long blonde hair.
Mm.
Um
I liked when Mikey was little and he kind of looked like Chifuyu's hair, but
yeah.
the little poof.
Yep. Yeah. I mean they all have great hair. It's hard to pick, but
Yeah.
the only person who I'm like don't care for their hair is probably Takamichi. Like
I like it
I
when
like
it's down.
I like when it's down. I don't like when he puts it up in his I
Well,
don't know.
he even said when he
But
first traveled back in time, he's like, "What is with my hair? I thought this looked cool."
but then he continues to wear
Then he
it.
continues to do it probably because that's what expected of him. But then later, I caught him in like season two going, "Oh yeah, it looks good today."
Yeah.
I'm
He's
used to it now. I'm used to it now. It's
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It just
Yeah.
looks like something from the 50s, though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway,
Now
the
the final
moment we've been
thing.
waiting for. So,
Yes.
we've been waiting for a long time because we put our guesses out there of which character we would be if we were in the show. But I found a quiz on Crunchyroll, which is probably a little more accurate and better than the quizzes we find, like see the Horimiya episode to learn our struggles. But this one says, so it's Crunchyroll. Which
Yes, wait,
Tokyo
we should
Revengers?
repeat our guesses first for
Oh,
who we think
yes.
we're most like.
Yes. I said Chifiyu and Itsuya.
Okay, and I said Draken or Naoto.
Yep. And here's what the quiz says. There's a lot that's been going on in Tokyo Revengers thus far. With this quiz, you'll be able to find out just where you'd fit with the other characters in the show. In order to find out, though, you'll have to figure out if you're cut out for fights, a delinquent lifestyle, and also time travel.
Hmm. All
So
right.
I am going to read the questions and the options, and we will both say which options we are going to choose so you can follow along with us. Question number one. Would you be willing to time travel and save someone you cared about? Yes, without hesitation, or no, I think that's too big of a risk.
Hmm. That's a hard question.
This might go with our
It
link click debate too.
like I think it would depend on what the present was like for
It would
me.
depend on how the person died too. Like if I had
Mm,
to sacrifice another person to save a loved one, then
then
I'd be like,
no.
no, they wouldn't want me to. But for the purpose of this quiz, I'm gonna say yes without hesitation because being given that option is very tempting, you know?
Yeah. I agree. I'm gonna put that too.
All right. Question two. If provoked, do you think you would get into a fight? I pretty much get into fights constantly. I'd rather support someone from the sidelines than fight. I can have other people fight for me, or if it's to protect those I care about, I'll fight.
I feel like we're gonna have the same answer.
Probably
I'm
that
going
last
with
one.
yep, if it's to protect those I care about, I'll fight.
All right. What would you think of your past self if you somehow ran into them? I was just as cool as I thought. I was pretty normal. Oh
Oh no.
no, I was an embarrassment, or that's a part of me I had to work hard to change.
Um, ooh, okay, I'm going actually going with the last one. That's a part of me that I had to work hard to change.
Um, I might, oof. I might actually say I was pretty normal because in my head, in my memories, I'm going, oh no, I was embarrassment. I'm so cringy. But I feel like if I met myself from the outside and saw myself from the outside, I'd be like, you know what? I'll give myself a pass. I was young and I was insecure and I was anxious.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna hopefully go with I'm pretty normal. I hope I was pretty normal. I don't
No,
know.
I'm just like I'm thinking of myself interacting with others, and I know I had some things to work on.
Oh, I definitely did too, but here's hoping. Anyway, what is something you strived for when you were younger? Power, friends, respect, or self-improvement?
Uh,
Friends.
self-improvement actually for me.
Do you think you'd be able to handle everything if you somehow time traveled to the past? I'd be a little freaked out, but probably okay. I would be very confused. Absolutely, it'd be a very fun experience, or I would be incredibly stressed out. I would be incredibly stressed out.
Hmm. I mean, if it happened like it happened to Takemichi, I would be stressed out, but if I knew about it, I think I'd be a little freaked out, but probably okay.
I'm just gonna say incredibly stressed out because if I don't have somebody like Naoto who knows what's happening too, I'd just be like, I'm alone in this world and I'm going nuts.
Hmm.
Okay,
No.
how good are you at making new friends? I do a decent job. That's easy, not great, or you just wow people with your power to become friends, right? I'm just gonna
Um,
say I do a decent job. I got my tight-knit circle.
making friends, I feel like I'm not great at, but once we are friends,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm good. Okay.
All right. When faced with a very bad situation, how would you find a way out of it? Beat up everyone? Find courage deep down to not run away? I'd struggle but keep working hard until I could find a solution, or make sure I could protect those I care about in whatever way.
For me, I'd say I'd struggle, but keep working hard until I could find a solution.
Ah, yeah, that's mine too.
Okay.
Would your past self join a delinquent gang? Yeah, I could see that
No,
happening, or no way.
no
No
way.
way. How important is loyalty to you? It's incredibly important to me. I'm better at being loyal to others. I want to make sure people are always loyal to me, or I keep my loyalty to a select few people.
Hmm.
It's incredibly important to me.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that.
What would happen if you met the leader of a delinquent gang? I'd get out of there as quickly as possible. I'd slap them. I'd find a way to take their spot, or be incredibly nervous but hope everything turns out fine.
I'd get out of there as quickly
I
as
get
possible.
I get out of there. Oh, who'd you get?
I got one of my guesses.
Oh, really?
Yep. Do you want to?
Mm,
Okay, I'll go
Draken?
first. Nope. I
Naoto.
got Naoto Tachibana. I'll read the little description. A chance encounter with someone from the future led Naoto to completely change his life to also change the past. Just like Naoto, you're a hard worker who makes sure to get something accomplished once they set their mind to it.
Hmm.
Whether it's trying to stop a gang, helping someone through travel through time, or just things you've got to do in your daily life, you'll keep your head straight and get everything you need to work on finished, no matter what.
I'd say that's pretty accurate, and I'm glad that you got him.
Okay, who did you get?
Well, you might be happy because it's not one of my guesses, but it is related to yours. It's Hinata Tachibana. So we're
Oh.
siblings. Um, Like Hinata, you're loyal to those you care about. Even if those closest to you keep coming up to you after getting beat to a pulp, you'll still continue to make sure they're all right and help them mend. Along with that, you'll go to battle alongside them if push comes to shove, even if it means slapping a prominent gang leader, albeit due to a misunderstanding. Do you think that's accurate?
In some ways, yes, but I think you're wiser
Thank
than
you.
Hina. I don't think you would slap a gang leader.
No, no.
That's funny. Huh. Well, I don't know. I'm glad that we got different people.
Yeah. I'm also
And
wondering when that quiz was made
well,
because
yeah,
some
I was
characters
looking
might.
and it was May 21st, 2021. So
Mm,
I think all of the characters that we were talking about have had already been introduced, but Chifuyu
we didn't
was
know hardly
we
anything
didn't
about.
really know about him till season two. Um, and Mitsuya as well. But we knew them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would love to I always want to see what characters are options that they put into this quiz and then also the algorithm that they use. Like if you
Yeah.
get these, I always want to see that.
There was
Um,
something I saw, not related to a quiz, but the reason I kind of drew to Chifu right away was because before we met him in the show, I had seen this character profile list of like, those INFJ, INFP, those
mhm,
I so the one for me, who I am, a bunch of characters were listed under it, a bunch of characters I really like, and Chifu was one of them. So I knew, oh, I should watch out for this kid because according to whatever user on Instagram posted that, we had the same results for that test.
mm,
And
interesting.
Shifu is listed as being an empath. Like he's very he tries to relate to others. And I was like, oh, I can kind of see that. He goes about it in a different way than I would, but
Yeah, he can be
he's
a little bit of a ding dong sometimes,
yeah.
but we love him anyway.
I love him. I love him a lot for what he did for Takamichi when I love that scene when Takamichi's like, "Why am I confessing all this to him? I'm telling him everything about time travel. He's gonna think I'm nuts." And then, he's done telling his story and he's like, "Ha ha, just kidding. Good joke, right?" And Chifu's like, "No, you weren't kidding. I can tell. And I believe you."
hmm
I was like, something about that made me go, Chifu just like looked in his eyes and knew one, he wasn't lying, and two, he wasn't crazy. Like
hmm
it takes a lot to be able to just like look at someone and be like, I know you.
Yeah. It's I love all of them, but Chief, you definitely have a special place in my heart. All right. I think we've said everything that we want to say.
We'll probably have more
It
to
was
say later.
it was a lot, but thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the episode.
Yeah,
If
please tell us what
you
you think of Tokyo
yes,
Revengers.
yeah, if you want to share with us your favorite character or anything else, we would love to hear it and we will definitely read it on the podcast.
Yep. All right, till next time.
All right, bye.
Bye.